today, straight into
Welcome.
it. I don't know what tournament this is, but today we are here to watch it.
I think this is the Beltway. This is the Beltway battles. League of Legends Beltway battles. We have NCSU versus, I think it's JMG that Pesor got me. No, sorry, JMU. I'm terribly sorry.
Which university is JMU?
That is a great question. I will tell you. James Madison University, located in Harrisonburg, Virginia.
Huh. Never heard of it.
Me neither.
NCSU number one. All over the university.
Okay, that's fine.
Anyway, Kiwis. A little bit of an interesting draft so far. Darius as a first pick.
Okay, Darius first pick. Darius first pick. What is this? And then, of course, we have Sejuani and Viego. Right now, Kev is really comfortable on these hyper carry junglers. And we have Sejuani, usually. And then, usually, Bob usually goes for something like a Poppy, Orin. Having Sejuani top, they did play that during the game against Rutgers University. However, usually paired with this Viego, they're able to, you know, have a good front line with that Sejuani, especially good engage with that Sejuani ult.
You know what I just realized? They're drafting on a third party, which means they're just going to draft in order of what their roles are.
Ah, that is
not
true.
The actual pick and ban.
No, it isn't, and that is fine because we're over here to just chill because we don't have access to that. That's for some reason.
Well, technically we do.
Well, we did.
I just didn't click on it.
Yeah, we did. It's fine. We're over here. Already like 20 minutes late for start. It's fine.
Anyways, so far this looks like a little bit of a disaster class draft from the side of James Madison, in my opinion. Giving over the Jinx Thresh combo and having a Darius in the top lane dependent on that lane pressure into a Sejuani-Viego combination. You obviously have the passive from Sejuani, which allows melee junglers to have an especially good synergy up there.
Exactly. And honestly, that Darius from Handholder is going to have to do something amazing in the early levels before Viego has time to gank. Because if not, that Sejuani-Viego combo is just going to come up there and get an easy gank off, especially if Darius pushes in the wave, which they usually try to do. And then, especially with like you said, the Sejuani passive, where melee junglers are going to be able to proc the passes as well, it's just going to be almost a free kill for the Viego, or maybe the Sejuani, you never know.
It is essentially a neutralization. Darius relies heavily off of his early game, and this is a great way to apply pressure theoretically. Viego doesn't even have to show up, but Darius has to show a lot of respect in this lane, because anytime he is in a very precarious position, especially since he has very little escape, and we'll see what summoner choice spells he has for this game as well, because oftentimes, TP is not taken on Darius. If he makes a mistake, he's going to lose a lot of CS up there in the top lane.
Right, exactly. And that's what JMU is going to have to do. They're going to either have to pick that... Check the chat real quick. Check the chat real quick. Check the chat real quick. You got a ping. We call that ADHD, undiagnosed ADHD. Have the streamer scuff.
Anyways, we will be back when the spectator delay is done. We will take you into the first game. See you then. Hey, and welcome back. We are into game 1 of
Welcome to
NCSU
Summoner's Rift.
versus JMU.
Gonna start off. I don't think anything's gonna happen too early here. Even though we have a Thresh on the board, I don't think
30
any
seconds
early game is
until
gonna
minions
happen, especially with the
spawn.
characters on the side of NCSU. And also, yeah, there's gonna be no invades early. It's just gonna be chilling out until the first wave comes in.
Hey, but listen, let's talk about this draft masterclass from our boy Pessoa, the head coach of NCSU Esports. Look at this lineup. Neutralization in that top lane. Look at the Sejuani-Viego pairing. Going to be forcing Darius onto the back foot. To be very careful from the beginning of the game, especially with that Ignite on that top
Minions
laner.
have spawned.
And in that bot lane, you have a Jinx Thresh. Typically a lane where the Thresh is meant to prevent abuse in the early game, but at the same time, on the opposite side, Ezreal or Rakan don't have that much pressure. It'll be a free time for Jas. They are strong throughout every period of the game, in my opinion.
I also want to give notice to what Fats has in terms of items right now. He took tier first. Instead of going something to at least try to pressure that, they're going full scale. They're going full scale right now, and that is exactly what Jas wants. It's going to be a very interesting game going on right now. Both junglers starting their bot side, blue and red. It's going to be probably scaling up to try to get that early gank, or maybe just to get Scuttle Crab and take it back, probably.
Well,
But-
most likely Graves is going to be looking for a full clear. If he gets all of his camps, he should be able to hit 4, but at the time he's ready to fight over the Scuttle. And at that point, you're watching... Pause already.
Hey, this gives us more time to talk. I like this. We see Sight taking areas with Selfish both taking area instead of Sight taking maybe first strike to try to scale up early. Sight's probably gonna be going and trying to get some early trades off, trying to get some early damage in. Maybe make sure that Selfish doesn't scale up, as Oriana does.
Well, riddle me this, Kiwi. I will be very honest with you. I did not look at these players at all before I came here, but I know you did. So how about you give us a little bit of introduction to who we have on this goated NCSU lineup?
So we have on the NCSU lineup, on the top lane, we have Bob Timer. Really liking them take picks. What I saw on their U.GG, really into the Cassante, Poppy, which they played earlier against Rutgers in their last game, which they absolutely dominated in 2-0. And also likes playing Orin. I also saw that they did that top and jungle lineup with the Sejuani and the Viego before in game 2. Worked out really in their favor. Next we have Kev. Kev likes playing like the Graves, Viego, sometimes Zac. But they're really into those hyper carry junglers. In the mid lane we have Selfish playing that Jace, Oriana, and sometimes maybe a flex pick into the Azir. Just really liking them late game, like scaling up mid laners. We have Jas, we have the bot duo of Jas and Redo. Jas really likes playing them Ezreal, Jinx. I saw Lucian come out in the game 2 against the Rutgers, but really likes either going very much into the late game scaling, especially with the Jinx that we see right up here, or maybe going an early game Lucian depending on... I think it's usually depending on the picks of the, like the pick and bans of the enemy team. And next we have Redo. Redo, I see playing like Braum, I see playing Thresh, I see playing Bard sometimes.
Ooh.
Really doesn't like, I don't really see him playing Enchantress, but usually goes for that usual flex pick between like maybe a Braum and Thresh trying to protect their ADC to help them scale up. Or maybe going Bard just to trying to make pressure throughout the whole entire map.
So what I'm hearing is every single member of NCSU is on a comfort pick, only reinforcing the Pessoa draft masterclass narrative.
Indeed.
Either that or JMU just didn't do their homework, just like me. Relatable.
Speaking of, anyways, from what I saw in the earlier game against Rutgers, some really good things that the NCSU like to do. They're really good at coordination. I want to take us back to game 1 against Rutgers, where I think it was, Fiora was taking it back at a 16-minute mark and then was going to TP back as well. And then Selfish, playing the Jace, was able to call that out, saying, hey, this Fiora is using TP to come back. Don't think she has flash. Let's engage on that. And then at that moment, both Kev and Bob, playing a Sejuani and a Poppy respectively, were able to come up and just absolutely destroy this Fiora. Their coordination is really good. Their team fights are really good. The only problem is is that they have some, especially with their picks, they have early game vulnerability. But the thing is, as you said, the picks weren't really necessarily made towards that, so they're gonna be able to scale up really well. And I'll be honest, sometimes Jas greeds. He greeds for some kills. I'm gonna be honest.
Hey,
with
that's
you.
just the ADC lifestyle. If you're not greeting for as much gold as possible, you're really not necessarily playing
why you playing ADC? Why you playing ADC? But either way, that's what I saw on the Rudiger's game. Thank you, Pasor, for allowing me to watch that. I really appreciate it. Well, we're just gonna have to see what happens here. Taking a
long pause.
Long pause.
Well, one of the players has no role, so can't join yet. Trying to get him in, no idea what that means. But technical difficulties. We will cut to a short break. We will be back in just a moment when everything is resolved. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back, everybody. Sorry for the short pause, but we are indeed right back into the action.
That's a big Darius Q right there. Oh,
Apparently not.
I don't know what's happening here. I don't think anything's lagging. I mean, of course it's lagging, but like...
It wouldn't be a League stream without some technical difficulties.
Hard. Oh, there we go. Hey! Go back. Oh,
no, we just had a really long Bard ulti right there. Death sentence at level 2. Pressure coming in from NCSU, not respecting the spike as JMU's bot lane, and they pay for it dearly.
Goodness, that's some really big damage on the Fast right there. He's going to have to take it back or suffer maybe some Q poke from Jas, popping both of his pots just to stay alive.
It's very fortunate that he does, in fact, have the TP. If he is forced into an early back, he won't necessarily feel that bad about it.
Some good trades coming in mid lane right now. Both of them tied. Basically, I mean, Selfish has a little bit more health, but they're basically tied in terms of, you know, trading power right now, especially in the early game.
Well, what you're watching not necessarily is how they're trading against each other, but where each mid laner is in the lane. Right now, Selfish looks like he will be able to get that first shove in as the junglers approach the Scuttle Crab. We'll look to see if NCSU can secure that first one.
We have Handholder going into Tri-Bush right now, maybe trying to get some vision up there as he puts one ward into the Tri-Bush. Going up towards Kev right now, maybe trying to contest for the Krugs. No, he's going to back off as well as Kev. Going back to their jungle. But that does secure that does secure the Scuttle Crab in top lane, or top river right now.
As a second death sentence will land, no flash on Fat means it's first blood over to NCSU.
That is incredible. Incredible by Redo right now. We can't be talking right now. It's
Hey,
selfish.
the action doesn't stop as it's a flash in from Kev. The possession comes through and the scatter the weak pushes the Graves away, but without the stun, Selfish still gets out as Darius is here to join the fight. Great migration, but what can he get? He's left top lane. He's losing resources. They need to find something back. Walks forward, he lands the two-man grab, but Jazz gets back over the wall with the lantern, hitting away as Fat does in fact manage to find Selfish back in. Split fight. Kev has been left to the wolves, and that's 2 over to the side of JMU.
What just happened? You tell me, what just happened? We have Handholder coming down all the way from top lane. The great migration, as you said, doesn't even have TP to go back into lane.
Well, when NCSU saw that the Darius was approaching all the way from top, they should have known that they're on a disadvantage. Their Sedge is not coming. Ever since those TP changes, if your top laner is not walking down, he's not joining. They opt into the fight, and they do, in fact, get punished for it. Handholder manages to pick up a kill, 300 gold. Doesn't necessarily make up for the XP that he lost on the top side, but he won't be feeling too bad about that move.
Not at all. Though it's still technically even. It's still a 2-2 scoreboard right now. Waves pushing in for the bot lane. Waves pushing in for the mid lane as well. Not taking the TP, Bob Timer is going to feel really good about getting that one plating from the top lane, especially with Handholder just trying to catch up in terms of CS right now. Not much happening here either.
Overall, I do still think NCSU comes out on top of that one, especially if the gold lead reflects that 600 up. Because look who that kill went to first. Jinx got that first one on the bot side, and now Kev with the second. Kev will be able to project himself across the map a little bit better now. And Handholder getting a kill doesn't necessarily mean much, because I still doubt with that duo on the top side, Diego Sejuani, he will have that much kill threat on the bot side.
Very true, this is very true. Especially, I really like how you pointed out that the Jinx got that first blood. Jazz is going to be feeling really nice with that boost right now. Going to be able to scale into that first item very much more quickly.
Hey,
Shockwave
hold
comes
on,
out.
Shockwave needs to be flashed by Sightless.
Oh, we have... oh my goodness, he doesn't know. The Viego.
Both junglers are here though, and Darius is 6. With those 5 stacks on, NCSU cannot approach this threat. Bob Timer, a little bit of a mistake walking forward to get hit by that Q from the Darius to refresh his stack. Maybe if you let that drop off, there is a little bit of kill threat. And in fact, they still believe there is. The stuns are coming through, but it's not quite enough to immediately burst him down. Heal comes through, but it's not enough to save the Darius either. The possession comes through. Kev versus Show Me. Neither one wants to risk it all, as Bob Timer does TP back in.
We have some action happening in the bot lane as well, and not going to be amounting to much as we go back.
Kev never left. The Sejuani passive comes through with the stun, and Bob Timer with a response.
What? We have what? Selfish living on 1 health for a little bit before dying, and now we have Kev living on 1 health. What is this? This is crazy. If the hook lands right here.
Precarious position, the death sentence lands, but he goes forward onto Jazz. A lot of damage with that Sheen off that first back means actually JMU come out on top of that trade.
He knew that Jazz did not have enough damage to out-trade him at that point. So eating forward into that, getting some extra damage in, is actually going to turn out to them having a positive trade. Another
Handholder, he was the level disadvantage, but he does spike 7. Bob Timer forced to back off.
Plus the Conquer and that the extra damage will allow him to take that positive trade right now. Zelda's just clearing out some wards as I think we're setting up for maybe a Drake fight right here. We have Show Me in the bot lane right now, gonna be moving up as they push that bot wave towards the tower. Jazz is gonna have to get over there, try to react to that, try to pick up as much CS as he can. As we have JMU setting up for a Drake fight, or at least a Drake take.
I don't necessarily think they will fight this for the side of NCSU, although the pings are coming down. They want to pick on the Sightless as the Shockwave finds the flash with Syndra, and he is just deleted before the fight starts. 4v3 now. A much more precarious than it was before. The scatter of the week finds 2 in the back of the pit. Kev going off. 1, 2, and the Drake.
Red team has slain the dragon.
What can I say? NCSU is goated right now. That is crazy. I don't even know what happened there. That early pick onto site basically won them the fight. They didn't have enough damage to deal with both the Drake and also Redo and Kev coming in.
And this shows what it means to be a great Viego player. Not just mastery of your own kit, but the ability to take that Syndra and hit a 2-man scatter the week in the back of the pit. Massive fight turning play. Kev, masterclass.
Absolutely beautiful. And this is why this is a top team here at NC State. A little bit of a trade happening in the top lane as well. Handholder's going to be able to hit that Q to get some health back. Other than that, it's just going to be a normal trade with Bob coming out on top of that.
Look at how aggressive Selfish can go, knowing that Sightless doesn't have flash. He's eating auto after auto, this Orianna passive, as the unleashed power comes through. It's not enough. Solo Bolo.
Holy! He just said, hold on. Let me walk up and auto menacing.
Hold on. Another Solo Bolo NCSU all across the map.
No, it's not going to be 2 as Voltano chooses to back off from the Graves right now. Another thing happening. What happened to my late game? What happened to my late game prediction?
It's a 6 onto the Jinx. The death sentence lands. Rakan has nowhere to dash with the traps behind him. Flash wave from Fats. Is he enough for the super mega death rocket to kill? I don't believe so.
I don't think so either. But they are going to be able to take a lot of plating off of this. Maybe 1, 2 platings with some pressure coming on from Fats. But either way right now, NCSU looking really nice with these early game picks because a lot of their characters...
Show me? Oh, you're in a bad spot. There is Kev coming up. That is the 3-1 Sejuani with a 2-1 Viego behind him. Bot lane diving behind the turret all across the map. It's all coming up head for NCSU. I say that in a caster cursing. Kev goes down, but still. Kiwi, Jinx is supposed to be a late game champion.
Jinx is supposed to be a late game champion. That's what I'm saying.
Jinx is over here. These hooks from Redo right now are crazy. This is what able to get. This is what able to get them.
Another death sentence. Traps come through, but Ezreal does manage to dash off to the side, but he doesn't manage to live. Super Mega Death Rocket into yet another death sentence. Redo doesn't miss, and neither does this NCSU team in this game. 11 minutes, already a 6K gold lead.
Holy moly. It's because of these hooks, and with that early game pick, Jinx was able to scale up really early. I'm going to say that. Oh, Selfish.
Unleashed power comes through. Shockwave to match. Selfish is in a bit of a bad spot if Shomi can come up here quick enough. Jungler is on his way. Dashes over the wall. Into the smoke.
Big flash.
Ooh.
Big
flash expended as he barely lives.
That's a big flash right there. Gonna be able to not make sure that either Shomi or Sight don't get that 200 shutdown. That's really big. Maybe losing some CS off of that, but I say it's worth it.
And interestingly enough, it took him a while to back.
You just gotta make sure, man. You gotta make sure nobody's anywhere at that point. Honestly, what I find interesting is that because of Handholder roaming down a lot of the time, we see that there's only, like, the towers on the top. I'm not gonna say anything.
What we see is a Syndra burning to death. Red Glove takes him down. In the top side, Handholder is looking for a fight, but that's not the smoke that you want. This is a Sejuani already with that Heartsteel completed and a level up on this Darius.
I'm not going to say anything. I don't have a chance to explain anything at this point. There is already too much going on right now. I don't even know. Well, what I was going to say was that since Handholder is roaming down a lot, Bob is able to take a lot of platings and maybe even take a tower. What comes out?
Graves is here, but I feel like there's very little they can do. Fats is already down to 1 HP. The Lantern comes through. The death sentence out of the Rakan gives Jack his first reset. Can he find the second? They are heading back. Just kidding. A dash in means another kill over to NCSU.
They're feeding him.
They're sending it.
They're sending it. This Jinx is like Jinx in my ranked games. Jinx is just getting fed. Nothing is Shockwave.
We've seen this one before, Kiwi. Deja vu, sightless. More like lifeless. 0-5.
Oh my! Trust me, we're not biased. This is just what is happening. We're not biased casters. Sure, we're from NC State, but we're not biased.
Look,
we're doing the same thing as
NCSU has more than a kill a minute. This is one of those games you see in solo queue. It's FF15. One more minute. Go make yourself a sandwich. Cool down.
Okay, we can't be saying that. We can't be saying that. Okay, all right. So, what's happening right now? Jazz is already making their way up to that Infinity Edge right now, having a good CS lead above Fast right now. It's crazy at this point. It's gonna be able to pick a free Drake because of the pressure that they have already, especially with the vision line they have right now. It's just gonna be a free Drake. They have too much priority on the map. What are they doing?
They're getting more priority on the map.
They're getting more priority on the map. They're just walking.
Look, Handholder still thinks that he can walk up to the Sejuani and do anything. The play comes through and he's just dead. The lack of respect has been killing JMU all game long.
What did I say about coordination? They know their limits. They know how to play as a team, and this is what they're winning. This is how they're winning games.
Rakan, you can block the death sentence all you want. NCSU is still on that march forward. Jazz with the reset, with the movement speed. Scout of the week comes through, but all he's doing is sending himself to his own death. 4-23, another Shockwave in the bot lane. Can we get another solo kill? Denied by the flash. GG, FF15. What did you say? Make yourself a sandwich, go cool off.
I think it's time to make yourself a sandwich, go cool off. Oh my goodness gracious.
Big props to head coach Pessoa for that game from Champ Select. You just knew how this one was going to end.
This is what we call a draft diff, folks. Holy moly.
Well, we hope to see more of that in game 2. Stick around, we'll see you then. Welcome back, everybody, to NCSU versus JMU. We are into Game 2's draft, and right away, a Yorick ban. What?
Not something you know what? Target ban. Target ban NCSU. Target ban. Target ban. That's the best explanation that I can give for this.
Hey, I've seen Hullbreaker at Worlds a couple times. Ignore the part where they lost every game they played it, but it was there.
Some normal picks coming out. We have Zach, especially for Kev, because Kev really likes going on that Zach, really proficient with the Zach, and then Natalia coming out from NCSU. That's two somewhat normal picks.
Somewhat.
I mean, Talia makes sense. Zach.
Hey, listen. You saw what happened when NC State got on all comfort last game.
That is true. I'm surprised they're not banning out maybe Sejuani or what's his face, Viego. Syndra ban from JMU, even though they play
They're
Syndra.
banning it to make sure their mid laner can't play it.
Oriana's still up. Oriana's still up.
They don't want to see Lifeless Part 2.
They don't want to see Lifeless. Their mid laner is just, bro, please trust me, it works on red side. And the Alawi ban coming out last.
What is with them and not liking Hullbreaker top laners?
Dude, I don't know. Like, at least in the Rudiger's game, there was the Poppy from Bob had to at least respond to the Fiora, even though she wasn't running Hullbreaker, she was still pushing a lot. I don't really know, man. Maybe they just don't like Hullbreaker. I really do not know.
Listen, the jungler for NCSU's black team, who Pessoa was subbing in for a few days ago, I believe. Their jungler has nightmares about Alawi. Like, literally, he told me he'll never play against Alawi because one time when he was like 12, when he was first starting to play League, he had a nightmare about Alawi. So he bans it every game. Maybe Pessoa is taking a page out of that playbook.
Fair enough. Alawi is scared. Garen.
Hullbreaker?
Hullbreaker. Garen. Huh? I think they're just taking a page out of BDS Adams' book, honestly.
Look, BDS as the underdog put on some great performances with some strange picks. JMU, after last game, I think safely we can put them as the underdog. I'm sorry. So I like the fact that they're mixing things up a little bit here. Obviously, God's champ Darius last game. Garen this game.
Can I call it right now, Viego? Can I call it right now? I'm going to call it right now, Viego pick.
Go ahead and call it.
Call it right now.
If they get it again, all I can say is Pessoa Masterclass.
I'm surprised they didn't ban out either the Sejuani or the Viego at this point, because they were both really crucial. Oh, Jace. That's going to be coming out from, honestly, that could be either. I think that comes out for, this man right here, Selfish. This comes out for Selfish right here. However, you could say, I guess Bob could do it, but I haven't seen Bob play it at all. Bob usually likes his tank player, so I think that's going to be mid lane pick.
Currently, I believe right now in the meta, Jace is a stronger pick in the mid lane than he is top lane. Right now, top lane, he has a lot of matchups which can become a lot more difficult for him.
There it is. That's Bob right there.
Bob.
That's Maokai top, Sejuani jungle, Jace mid. That's the pick right there. So they're going to be banning out the bot lane. They're going to be banning out bot lane after this, because I doubt they pick ADC right here. They're probably going to pick their mid laner after seeing the Jace pick. Probably going to be Oriana, I'm going to be honest.
Interesting, though, if NCSU defaults back to a draft like they had last time with a hyper carry bot lane, they are lacking a little bit in the AP department.
This is true. I know Maokai is technically some AP, but usually mid for tank. We have 2 tanks and a Jace right now. We have JMU coming out with a Nico pick, actually. Nico is still pretty strong right now. Especially with that ult, that hard engage with that ult.
Nico is both... I don't know how to say it. She is a little bit nerfed in a formal setting. Obviously, her new passive introduced where she can turn into minions, wards, camps, everything gets a little bit nerfed when you're in a Discord with your teammates and they just say, hey, that minion's not supposed to be there. How about you Azir ult it into the turret? That's basically what we've seen a few times at Worlds already.
That's great. We have Okay, Caitlyn ban. Ezreal I get. Ezreal is a pretty normal pick for Jazz right now, but the Caitlyn ban coming in for JMU. Ashe ban as well. We have the bot lane is just being absolutely... And the Rakan ban as well, coming out from NCSU. It's just bot lane bans at this point right now. Jinx is still up. That's all I'm saying.
Xayah and Kai'Sa are both up. Two of the highest priority ADCs we've seen in previous patches here are available for either side to take, and JMU will get the first shot.
I'm saying, I don't want to say Jinx, but I kind of want to say Jinx.
Jinx too.
It's just, I think they're just gonna see the success coming in from Neela.
Hey, they do not care.
They do.
They do not care.
They do not care. The Neela pick comes out. I mean,
is this Neela Yumi time? Is this Neela Yumi time?
Don't you dare say that cat's name on this
stream.
stream.
Look, they have a Garen too.
Don't you dare say that cat's name.
I think it's Neela Yumi time.
The
and
Ziggs.
Look, there it is to make up for the lack of AP. If they lock in this Ziggs, it does make a little bit of sense.
It does make sense, I will agree. And especially into a Neela, a poke pick could be kind of, honestly, the play here. Now, the question is, what support's going to be paired with Ziggs? Or it could be Ziggs
I would
support.
be a big fan of the Ziggs Senna this game. You have a beefy front line. You have an unplayable poke bot lane into a melee farming ADC. If I'm in Pessoa's place right now, I'm saying Senna as much as I can.
The Bard. This is what I'm saying. Redo doesn't play. I mean, I've never seen him play Senna. The Bard is probably the best comfort pick for him at this point right now.
Well, it is good. Ziggs does have a fairly safe position in lane to be able to farm, and he can secure farm easily under his turret while getting pushed in. Bard can leave him reasonably. That is, unless we see an extreme engaged champ on the side of JMU,
Nico
which
support!
we do not.
Nico support Orianna mid. This is what is this bot lane? Neela Nico.
It is one of the bot lanes in League of Legends, that's for sure.
I would like to remind you all, Neela's passive basically saying that, like, the ally giving him a shield or heal gets amplified back into that ally, back into that support. Nico does not have a heal nor a shield.
We'll just
This
have
is
to
crazy.
see. Have a little bit of faith. But let's save that faith when the game actually starts, as we are going to take it to a break. We'll see you when we're ready to head into the action. And welcome back, everybody, to Game 2 of this best of 3 between North Carolina State University and James Madison University. NCSU dominating performance in the first game, looking to translate that one into a quick Game 2. Huh?
I'm still befuddled by the JMU bot lane right now. We have the I can't say anything. I can never say anything.
You can say something. Nobody's dying here, right?
Right. Just a quick little spin over here from Handholder right now. There's always so much action going on in these games that I can't really...
Action? By action, you mean JMU getting solo killed.
Yeah.
Last game, I think NCSU had more solo kills than JMU had kills total, so...
Yeah, honestly, yeah, I'm pretty sure. I know at least Selfish got 2 solo kills on that Orianna. I'm just saying though, this bot lane coming in from JNU is quite interesting.
It's very feast or famine, not necessarily, but if you end up in a position where you can't get an advantage across the map as JNU, it's a little bit dicey.
I mean, Nico has the possibility to carry game.
As a support, I'm gonna press the doubt button on that one. I apologize. I know you're the Nico main,
okay. Look, I have to trust in Nico's best decision. I am sorry. I have to trust in that.
Does it look like it right now?
No. Look, maybe in the ranked games, maybe. And the play where we actually have mics, I don't know about that one. Also, Handholder took E-verse instead of Q.
Huh.
I guess for the early trade on, didn't really do much. I mean, unless he had a support item, which he doesn't. All I'm saying is kind of weird. And Fats is already down to quarter health.
It be like that sometimes.
It do be like that sometimes.
You're playing a melee ADC into a Ziggs lane. You have a support without any synergy with your heal and shield passive. Early game's gonna be looking a little bit rough. That's why he opted for that D shield, obviously.
Right, exactly. I do want to say though, both junglers started topside. They're really gonna be trying to focus on bot lane right now, especially on the side of JMU. If JMU doesn't get their bot lane going, it's really gonna be an interesting time.
I mean, they are gonna be relying heavily on the early power of the J4. J4, obviously, not your farming jungler. It is your ganking jungler. Looking to put yourself into a good position early game. Show Me is pivotal to how they're going to play this one out.
And you say that. Right now, Show Me is still full clearing.
He's full clearing.
He's full clearing. He's full clearing as the J4.
It'd be like that sometimes.
It do be like, you know what? Let him cook. We keep on doubting, but let him cook. Let him cook.
Look, it's good read from Kev to know that J4 is going to be clearing down towards his bot side, because that's where he's going to put that early pressure. Kev is here to match. Actually, he's on that Scuttle Crab, and he's the one that secures it. If he double scuttles J4, then Show Me, I don't know what you're doing here, buddy.
Honestly, could possibly be happening at this point. Bob's already pushing in the top wave right now. Blast is
stunned from Cosify. Running away, Jas is walking into danger. The flag and drag comes through as Show Me shows up with the lane gank. And there it is. Early power of the J4 means first blood over to JMU.
We doubted it. And yet it happened anyways. That J4 gank coming in, especially as Jas was walking up, was absolutely crucial.
You said at the start of the first game, Jas does tend to greed. He sees a low health bar. He thinks he needs to walk up and continue putting pressure. Big mistake.
Very big mistake. He wasn't paying attention about the jungler's position at that point, so it's going to be really interesting. Though, off of that, Kev might actually be able to take at least the big Krug right there to get that early jungle item. There we go. That's the word. Thank you, Brain. I really appreciate it. Anyways, Jas having TP, making sure that he's not able to lose any CS from that early kill. At least that's damage control.
You know what I respect? Darkest Legend 93 on the Nico. First back, supports typically tend to buy, what, control wards, boots, lucidity boots, or Moby boots? Man went back and bought a blasting wand with that 850 gold he got from that first kill.
There we go. That is the Nico mains that I love to see right there. I will say this again. I will stand by the Nico is best decision.
Okay, but if he takes all of Nila's kills, they're losing the game.
That is true. I mean, as a Nico support, you only can do so much. Sure, the engage is godlike with that ult, but you're gonna be taking what, Zhonya's second after taking maybe the Hexblade. I forget items names, man. The Hexblade. Hexblade? No. Hex Belt. There we go. I suck at that.
Hello? Lack of respect from Bob Timer. Flash into the judgment. Garen with the solo kill. Things looking a little bit different from last game.
Maybe it's just red side. Maybe it's just red side's better at this point.
That is the reverse copium from what people usually say.
Maybe it's just red side's better at this point. I don't know. JMU looking really good early game.
Look, NCSU can only show out when they're repping the school colors. Not on the red team. Literally forgot how to play the game.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
I can't believe that Bob Timer let himself fall into that blunder, though, sticking around far too long against a Garen he knows has flash and has the ulti.
It's like in Worlds, bro. It's like in Worlds. They don't know how to play against the Garen. They walk up on him wanting to trade, but then he just spins an R. Q spin R. That's the whole trade pattern.
Just flash QR.
Flash QR. And then JMU is easily gonna be able to get that break right here. It's so much map prio right now on the side of JMU off of those first early 3 kills. Not really much that NCSU can do right now.
Looking ahead, there is still many opportunities for NCSU.
That is true. Ziggs does scale pretty hard into the late game, but that's also true for Neela right now. Both will be pretty hard to deal with endgame. Ziggs with a constant poke with the Q, and maybe the absolute demolition of the turrets with the W.
Selfish. First the shockwave, then the pop blossom, then the gray screen. 4th kill over to JMU, a 1.5 gold lead built up.
Not looking good. It is not looking good for NC State right now. JMU absolutely demolishing the early game.
And there's definitely a lot of lack of respect coming from NCSU right now. We saw in the first game how hard they dominated. They let it get to their heads a little bit. First, in the bot lane, not respecting the possibility of a J4 lane gank they knew could have been coming. Jas walking forward gives his life away. Secondly, Bob Timer in the top lane has the push, gets a little cocky, walks forward in a Garen with flash and ult, gives his life over. And then Selfish, without any vision control, walking forward in the lane, just lets the support come in behind him. Some basic blunders from the side of NCSU, punished very hard.
And although might be looking for a rotate, no, goes back into the top lane as Selfish. Does it? Oh, nope, Show Me doesn't know. I mean, he did know through the... Oh my goodness, what is happening right now? They're switching positions. They're switching positions right now. NCSU trying to look for that Rift Herald right now. Gonna be able to secure that as J4 walks forward towards bottom.
And look, Rift is one of the big keys for NCSU in this game. They have a Ziggs. The combination of the Ziggs demolition passive plus the Rift Herald is a great way to accelerate both your map pressure and your gold advantage.
They're actually switching lanes really early right now. The bot lane duo of Fats and Darkest Legends are moving towards in the mid lane, as Sight is right now in the bot lane right now.
It's interesting. We're playing a little bit of ARAM. Show Me with the flag and drag into nowhere. Why turn your monitor on? But Fats with a great response. And Handholder is here as the cavalry arrives for JMU.
Killing spree.
There it is. This is crazy. JMU, an absolutely perfect response, especially with Fats popping the Neela ult. This Bob Timer just auto into that tower as well, trying to do his best to make up for losses. Not really going to be able to take that second plate, the second to last plate.
What I've noticed so far in these past couple games is that Handholder has had a very, very strong roam advantage on Bob Timer. Not necessarily advantage because he did leave at a bad spot. Bob Timer obviously getting a lot of plays, a lot of XP, but he's on the Maokai. It's not necessarily that big of a deal for Handholder to roam out, and he does it very often.
Right, exactly. having that map pressure from the top lane, having that front line being able to tank some of the shots, it's crucial for the team fights that are happening right now. Bob Timer, sure, he's getting plates, he's getting money. But honestly, I don't think Handholder cares at this point. I think he wants to be there for the team fight.
Look, that's just what his name is. He's holding the hands of his teammates as they win. He doesn't care about his own lane.
Doesn't care. Honestly, I haven't really seen Bard roam too much out of the bot lane, away from Jackson.
Show me back again. This time the flag and drag lands and the Cataclysm catches 2. Ooh. Double golden saves them from the damage, but only for a moment.
That's a 2-for-1 trade right there. Show me's gonna get the gray screen as both Jazz and Redo also sent back into spawn right now. It's still not a great trade. The gold advantage still less than 2,000, pretty close though.
Hey, Nico is looking like the best decision.
Nico
4 kills on the support.
decision.
Who is the real carry here? Luden's Echo completed. Look, that last fight, the Tempered Fate saved 2 members of the side of NCSU from getting hit by that Pop Blossom. Next fight, if they don't manage to have that same counter action, that Pop Blossom could just pop them right back to Fountain.
Now, I don't know the ult timer on Bard's ult, but Pop Blossom comes in, I think, at 1 minute 15, if I remember correctly. So they're going to have that definitely for the next fight. No doubt in my mind. Are we going to be able to see? I think we can click. If you click on Darkest Legend right now, I think we're able to see the ult timer. I'm not entirely sure. Either way, coming back into this, there's gonna be some damage control happening for NCSU right now. Maybe trying to get that Dregs, kind of setting up for it right now.
Look, the big issue now comes from the fact that Bob Timer has a TP advantage distinctly over Handholder.
This is true. He does have the ult ready as well.
Handholder fighting hard to get this wave back out, taking a lot of damage in the process. Bob Timer has the ult in his back pocket, chasing him around the alcove, hit with more and more poke. The Garrett is walking somewhere, but I'm not sure he knows where.
The ult comes out.
There it comes through. The twisted advance, where? Not quite. Flashes away with the Nimbus cloak. Managed to get out of a really interesting, sticky situation he found himself in.
That's both summoned spells out, though, for Handholder. Not going to be able to get that, or potentially the Drake fight if he decides to go down for that. Instead, he decides to stay top lane, trying to find the usual top lane play right now.
Red team's turn has been
As you
destroyed.
see, first tower is...
Ouch! Whoa! Jace EQ chumps bats down to half.
The basic Jace thing, honestly, at this point. Basic Jace right
As
now.
a big hit in the mid lane. Lich Prison, Shockwave may not be able to save him. It will, as that last Ziggs bomb misses wide left. Tempered Fate in the Cataclysm denies a lot of the damage, but the bind to follow up doesn't land. Selfish, the cavalry has arrived, the Nico's been shut down. What kills can NCSU find? Handholder in the top side gets solo killed while the action finishes in mid. NCSU come out on top.
And this is what NCSU needed at this moment. Look at the top right there, the gold.
Top.
Oh my god, I couldn't say anything.
Show me decides to stick around and hit his Krugs. NCSU say, okay, hit the Krugs, we'll hit you.
I was saying before, I'll say it again. This is what NCSU needed right now. Now 1,000 gold lead for NCSU coming out. A little bit more than 1,000, might I add. And it's just, they're back in the game. Even though it's still technically 6-9, NCSU's back in the game. They're able to take a good amount of map control, able to expand that vision line upward. I don't think they'll, if they try to set up for drag right now, JMU, at least I'm trying to think they're trying to set up for drag right now. Backs come back. Bob Timer does not have the TP. Selfish neither has the TP, so they might have to give this up. Other than that, there might be some contest.
The issue is that NCSU needs a pick before they can move on this Drake. That's what they were trying to find last time in the mid lane onto Sightless. After that play did not go quite as cleanly as they would have hoped.
Ooh, being able to take off that engage from the magical journey from Bard. This This is crazy right now, especially with those kills happening in the mid lane and on a Show Me and hand
Look, the question is, where's the pick? And Show Me might have just delivered the pick to them on the top side as well. They've caught fast. Both sides of the fight, JMU are sending it. Tempered Fate comes through. It will catch the jungler on the backside. Hey, how'd you run?
I don't know.
Core Drinker. All that matters is NCSU get the picks, and NCSU will now most likely get the Drake.
Hopefully they get the Drake. They're most likely, yeah, they're definitely gonna get the Drake. Show Me is roaming up towards the top side, maybe trying to get that. Yeah, they're trying to trade right now with the Rift Herald right now. Though technically, I want to say it's the best. Actually, no, it's the best decision that they can make right now, trying to trade that Drake with Rift Herald. Maybe get some more pressure onto the map. Maybe take some tower plates. Selfish right now, just doing the job.
Look, denying any demolition potential from a team with a Ziggs on it, that's always a good decision.
That is very true. Both Selfish and Jazz have DP up right now. Any fight that they try to make, which probably won't happen, no objectives are up on the map. Still though, having the option there is a really good decision to happen. Have just going back to the usual grind, going back, trying to clear out those jungle camps, still trying to find the last 6 jungle camps that he needs to get the full item done.
But listen, all eyes right now need to be on Selfish. On this Jace, without the Mana Moon completed, he still chunks out the carries of JMU so hard. Even before the fights begin, they have very little potential to be able to catch him from the range that he can keep forward.
This
Jace,
is true.
Jarvan would have to overextend very far, like he did in that last fight, to have any potential to stop him. And, there you go, boom, pop, just like that.
We have the demolition coming out from the 6W, and then just destruction happening underneath.
Show Me coming in, they're looking to find some picks. The 2 tanks head into Tempered Fate, head into a shockwave. The Sejuani is down first as the knockup finds Selfish. The key member of NCSU is dead. Cataclysm does a little bit of friendly trapping. NCSU finds some returns as Jazz is still alive, and even without the Jace, they still can't find a clean win.
I'd say, no, it's still a pretty nice win. That was a 900 gold shutdown onto Handholder. That's going to be a lot of money put back in to JMU. It's even. I can't really say much right now. Even though the goal lead is technically 2,000 in favor of NCSU, I still say it's pretty even in terms of map priority and everything. The vision lines right now, maybe a little bit in favor of NCSU on the top side. Other than that, it's still pretty much even.
What you have to think about is NCSU has such incredible pick potential. If you ever move up to contest the vision line, if you're ever even remotely out of position, you can find yourself getting prisoned, you can find yourself getting temper faded, and you can find yourself eating a nice Jace EQ and finding yourself back in the top.
This is true. This is very much true. And not even that, elongated fights, you have Ziggs. The Ziggs was
Handholder does not respect vision line. He's overextended, and look, what can NCS do? It's such an easy time finding people out of position.
Yeah, there it is. Like, exactly as you predicted it. It's honestly crazy at this point. Just getting that EQ as well, being able to chunk out. Actually, not really that much chunk on the site, but still a pretty nice poke. Gonna have to make site back off from the wave.
But NCSU, wherever they want to focus their attention, they're able to get priority on that part of the map. That is just the nature of their comp. JMU has to be very, very respectful of their positioning, very, very respectful of where NCSU can be. The only counter that they have is obviously their Wombo combo that they've drafted for. Obviously, you have Shockwave, you have the Ultimate, you have a Pop Blossom, a lot of big circles. But if NCSU never clump up to be able to hit them with that, you're at a little bit of a loss in terms of how you're going to play the game.
Especially the squishies, like Jazz right now playing the Ziggs. There's no need for Jazz to clump up because he can just toss Qs around. Toss Qs, have that Leandries, you're already doing massive damage already. There's no need for him to stay near the team.
It's going to be very difficult for them to find these fights. The only way to start off a play, if you are currently on the side of JMU, is to look for a J4 combo with the Shockwave. But if things go awry, you have to sell Show Me in a play like that.
So you just saw there the EQ from Selfish, chunking Darkest Legend down to half health. Well, not half, quarter health, I'm sorry. Absolute monster of a combo, especially with that completed Monument right now. I think they're trying to set up for a Drake fight right now. Most both teams are setting up in the bot side. We have Bob Timer, still has that TP, trying to push up the top wave right now, trying to maybe gain some attention on the top wave. Gonna take it back right now, probably gonna pop that TP onto maybe a string ward having in the back. But other than that, nothing really much happening right now until Drake is set up.
Obviously things are being set up though. The TP has come through from Selfish. Bob Timer does also have the TP of his own. If they come into the river and they get TP playing earlier from that Maokai, just send those vines through. Show Me has to be very careful approaching the choke point. Again, pick potential is insane. If he oversteps, you can quickly see him go down. Playing the edge of his line is so risky. As the vines catch onto this Ori and look at her disappear. Tempered Fate to follow it up. Show Me the next one to go. That's looking to turn it. What can he do? Not much. Pop Worthless is too late as Nico's support is not the carry you're looking for. Garen heading for the hills as the last man alive. No potential to steal the Drake. No potential to make a play. NCSU went out.
Crazy. They're able to bring it back after that very tragic early game. Able to now secure the Drake. Second Drake, not really too important, but still pretty important. As in the next Drake that JMU is going to have to contest because that's the whole point. I'll be the first Drake inside of NCSU. Handheld is just...
Handholder is still here. He better hope they don't find him.
Just waking his boots right now, standing into the NCSU jungle. NCSU is going to be able to push up more into the bot side jungle of JMU because they don't have Cryo. They can't really do much about it.
JMU just have to turtle.
They have to turtle.
If they find themselves picked off like that again, that's Baron now.
Ooh. Stopping the backs though. There might be a fight coming out in the bot lane here. NCSU running for their lives.
They're not necessarily running for their lives, they're running to bring JMU into a position to turn, I believe.
Might be play right now. JMU is starting to play out, huh?
Bob Timer walking forward, looking for that twisted advance. Here comes the vines. Where's that W coming through? It hasn't. Darkest Legends doesn't need to be CC'd down. He is just dead. Meanwhile, on the top side, sightless, more like lifeless, back at it again. NCSU just roll. What is there to say?
A line strikes twice. Sightless being caught out in the top there, and then the rest of JMU. This might be an end timer. I doubt it. But most of the timers right now standing at 30-second deaths. Maybe gonna be able to get Show Me in the last bit right here. Kev trying to go in with that charge, and yeah, gonna be able to find it. That's an ace for NCSU. Gonna be at least some towers here. Maybe a tower and an inhibitor.
Huey, it looked close until it didn't. And once it stopped looking close, it doesn't look close, even remotely. NCSU these past couple fights aren't losing anybody, aren't dropping below half HP, aren't even in a position to have any response dealt to them. The comp is great and the teamfight execution is clean.
The early game was a little bit shaky, but now NCSU looking very strong right now. Vision line absolutely in NCSU's favor. The only hope that JMU could have right now, I see, is to win a Baron fight. Win a Baron fight, get some towers down. You see all the towers in the mid lane and bot lane are still up. Objectives is how you win League of Legends, people. And right now...
No, destroying the Nexus is how you win League of Legends.
Yeah, and is that an objective?
Okay, well, I guess.
Yeah, there we go.
You are right,
There we go. There we go. This is how you win League of Legends, people. Killing towers and destroying the Nexus, not getting kills. And right now,
is that why they banned all the Hullbreaker champs?
Maybe, possibly. Leaving Ziggs up then isn't the question, but maybe Jats knew that they weren't going to take Ziggs at that point. It's a Baron fight setup right now, I'd say. as both are leading towards the top side, trying to get that mid-wave pressure in. Other than that, NCSU looking to start up this Baron, maybe a Baron trade possibly could happen.
Look, you're in the minds of JMU right now. You are terrified to walk up. And any of these bushes could come a twisted advance, and a perfect example shows itself. Bob Timer is godlike. Baron on the table with that support dead, possibly.
It is definitely a possibility. It could be even more of a possibility as Show Me barely lives on 1 HP. Gonna be having to take it back here.
Look, they don't need Baron to end. Ziggs moving the wave in topside. They're looking to end this purely now, or not necessarily end, but
it's at least pressure enough for Ziggs.
It feels like they have Baron.
The twisted advance coming up. That's damage. That's a lot of damage right now. EQ.
Bob Timer can just sit in the middle of two of them. Completely fine. Shotgun comes through. Finally, the shutdown. They have to expend the judgment onto the Maokai. That means, though, you're lacking a little bit of damage to close this one out. Barn going through the magical journey lives as Kev is there to cover for support. Bomb finds the support counterpart. Darkest Legends goes down 2 for 3.
Silas had to flash that as well. That's a flash down. This could be a Baron look. Maybe not. Fast going in. Gonna pop that ult.
It is a 1v2. It is a valiant attempt, but numbers are numbers.
That Archangel shield coming in clutch for Jas right there. It's not an end look, but it certainly is an FF look coming in from the JMU side.
10k gold down, just like they were last game. This time, though, they managed to hold it out for 12 minutes later than it was in that situation. In the previous one.
This is true. This is very true. Right now, I would say, yep, NCSU looking for the Drake. Gonna be able to get that Drake uncontested as right now JMU just looking for damage control. Trying to get all these waves pushed in, trying to get any CS that they can before an inevitable strike from NCSU happens.
Soul point going to be handed freely over the side of it. Again, all JMU can do is turtle. Last fight, they managed to trade 2 for 3, but only because Bob Timer walked under the turret. He did not care. As long as he doesn't do that again, I don't see any avenue for JMU to win a fight. Ever.
Advance coming up. I don't think he catches anybody there. But either way, NCSU gonna take jungle camps inside JMU's jungle because they just can. They have to try to do that.
Finds Nico, and Nico finds the gray screen. Continuing to advance as Bob Timer. Turrets, enemy champions, the base, nothing can stop this Maokai.
I'd like to point your attention towards the bottom